I feel like we're more likely to see an upset here, Prophecy versus FlipSid, than Aero Kings versus Diffuse Kids. But we're about to find out how this one goes. FlipSid taking on their substitute Flarky and his team of all other substitutes. Shogun, we both have FlipSid taking this, but not as easily as people might think.
No, certainly not. This is a team of players that have been around for a very long time. Marky Duda. Okay, I'm going to say a sentence here that I never thought I'd say. The Doomsy dish, dunk. Incredible.
This is one of the luckiest goals I've seen all tournament. As he just wanted to center that ball, and then as he's finishing his dodge, his car ends up hitting the ball a second time. It's a little bit of a misplay though from Prophecy to hit the ball straight towards Marky, who was spiraling central. 1-0 for FlipSid. Very early in the game though, and now we do get to see that Doomsy dish attempt from Mummy Snow getting shut down this time.
That time. It's going to be an opportunity, and we'll go back to the point you were trying to make beforehand as FlipSid tried to increase their lead by even more. In fact,
there's the
great response by Prophecy, leaving someone downfield, and Mummy Snow, he only got to play during two games during the entirety of the RLCS, trying to make a statement with this new team that they can make next season and that they can challenge these top teams.
Well, I talked to FlipSid about this team Prophecy that they have to play against today, and they are not taking this lightly at all. They know that Flarky can play at the top level, as he was their choice for substitute in Season 3. And of course, Sniper Kid, formerly in a top 4 team in Europe as well. And then Mummy Snow is sort of the question mark for most people, but he's such a mechanically gifted player. He just sometimes finds himself in awkward positions. Hopefully that won't happen for his sake. Right now, he's got a goal to his name, and a good one at that. Tie game here.
The thing is,
game 1.
Sniper Kid never really dropped out due to a lack of skill. He just sort of stopped playing a lot less during one day. I believe it was due to academics, although I cannot confirm that. But
yeah,
he looks
some
to be
team
back.
problems and some real life issues, but he's definitely on form now. I have been very impressed with how he's played this weekend. His solo plays have definitely been on point. Mummy Snow and Flarky focusing more on the team plays. Oh, Cuxer to the crossbar. This is a shot for the new player here, Mystic. He is trying out with FlipSid here, and so far seems to be filling the shoes that have been left by Greasy pretty well.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be a case of Mystic is phenomenal on that third, but this team right now, Team Prophecy, are not really anticipating just how well FlipSid Tactics can hit the ball as we see the fake kickoff coming out. Marky Duda will look for Cooks. This will be beautifully done, but is not turned into the net. That is probably the closest I've seen to a fake kickoff scoring in a very long time. Prophecy tried to turn it in, but they tried to do it so quickly after the kickoff. Too low on boost, could not get a proper flick. And that will be easily saved by FlipSid, but still caught in their final third. Eventually, Mystic will hope to get out. He's got 42 boost, will manage it, and they survive.
FlipSid have to be really careful in that corner, though. They do have a tendency to get stuck in a big group in their own corner. And if they can allow Prophecy to box them in, it might cause problems as this series progresses. They do escape the first occurrence. And we've had a couple of close shaves in and around Prophecy's goal, but no one is there for FlipSid either time to finish the shot, so we're not really too worried about this scoreline increasing for the time being.
Yeah, Prophecy have had a slight issue with over-rotations at times, leaving too many players forward, and there's little touches that can tear your rotations apart even further, as FlipSid Tactics still hold onto the lead. Mummy Snow, 2 players sent for that. That is going to be at least safely put towards the top of the roof, though. So they will be safe for the time being. Now Mystic, free boost. Try to get something going, but Cooksir will have to react. 2 minutes remaining, and you can now see Prophecy. They are starting to go for boost steals. That one in the back right is gone, and they will now go for the siege, starting to set it up. Cooksir has to try and go for a flick. He's pulled out Sniper. Well played there by FlipSid Tactics. They have managed to just about squeeze out of that situation.
Yeah, FlipSid are doing a reasonable job in their own defensive corner so far this game. Although getting boxed up together closely, a little bit too much for my liking. They have escaped without allowing a shot on their net, or at least an easy shot on their net. Oh, Cuxer is going to go for the ground shot. He's never really going to be able to fake out the Prophecy defender in that position because he was directly opposite him. Cuxer end-to-end back in the defense already and helping out with the clear ball situation. Can Marky read the ceiling? No, he cannot. This is an awkward situation now for Mystic. He does well, though, popping the ball into a very difficult position.
I feel like Prophecy just need to start pulling out their rotations a little bit, open up that V rather than going for the L style of rotation, because every single time FlipSid Tactics want to get rid of the ball, they only really have to beat one player, and then they are completely home free, rather than waiting on the halfway line and going for a challenge. There we are, shot towards the Prophecy end. A third goal would be huge for FlipSid as we head into the final 40 seconds. Prophecy, they need to get something going here.
It's not the first time that Mystic has left ball cam off for an aerial. People are wondering, why is he doing that? It's because he wants to see what's happening immediately in front of him and just reads the position of the ball based on timing and the ball indicator on the ground. He seems to have pretty good ability in that regard. And with only 15 seconds left, Prophecy down by a goal. They've had chances, but the double commits have plagued them a little bit too much this game. FlipSid very much in control of this one.
Yeah, we're going to head towards the end. Prophecy are low on boost overall, so they will try and take up the wall. Instead, immediately hitting it off the side, and that is going to end it. Prophecy needed to take it up the side wall so it would keep the ball off the ground. Instead, just tries to boom it out of their end, and that will hand this first game over to FlipSid in a pretty tame game from both these squads.
Double commits on both sides, both in defense and in offense. So that is one thing that both teams can improve on going into Game 2 and further into the series. We have to remember, though, this game started with a pretty lucky goal for Marky, and it finished off with a 1-goal difference. So that being said, 1 goal each in deliberate passing midfield play. And it was probably the better goal on the hand of Prophecy with a great counter-attack. And Mummy still getting the finish.
Almost looks like a case of confidence right now for Prophecy once we get into the tighter parts of the game. Looked very fluid, very free in the opening 2.5 minutes, but once we got down to the nitty-gritty, just closed themselves in, only sending one player to the offense at all times, and it just simply does not work. The majority of players on FlipSid can beat you in 1v1s, they can read the play very well. That is not the way you go about it. As you mentioned earlier, the way they scored cutting infield passes. They need to, and they need to catch FlipSid by surprise.
If anyone is going to be making those interceptions, it will probably be Flarky. He knows that Marky and Cox love to play that style. They love to just ignore the back wall, hit the ball straight into the middle of the opposition box. You see Marky there with the scar from yesterday where he fell over in the venue, hit his nose on something. No surprise there, Marky, quite a clumsy old fellow. It's a shame we didn't catch that on stream. I'm sure you guys would have enjoyed that. I know I would.
Yeah, Marky dude has more control over his eyebrows than he does his feet.
It's not wrong.
But we are going to get ourselves into Game 2.
But the smart kickoff by FlipSid, losing intentionally to the back and then getting the passing play started. It does get immediately broken down, but showing intention to maintain possession right from the get-go.
So FlipSid Tactics. I've got all 3 players right together. Sniper and Flarky, though, have both committed, so a domino effect of failures, I think we'll go with there. As Prophecy will look to try and work their way back into this game. Honestly, Johnny, what do they need to change right now? Because it just seems like they are almost playing completely reactionary to FlipSid Tactics rather than trying to create their own opportunities.
Like you said, if they feel like they can't play at the pace that FlipSid are playing at, if they feel like they can't beat FlipSid to the ball, or at least get 50-50s at the worst, then they'll probably have to play a little bit more well in terms of reading FlipSid's plays, try and intercept them, try and get ahead of the game in position before the ball arrives there. Because right now they are sort of, like you said, playing reactionary, waiting to see where the ball's going to go and then trying to get into position after the fact.
Well, a defensive style will not be available to them, especially not with this man right here, Mystic, holding the background area. He's unlikely to make any mistakes, so we can't expect FlipSid to overcommit.
Yeah, we did talk before the game about the differences between Mystic and Garizi. I think for me, one of those differences is Mystic is far more willing to sit back and let Marky and Cux do their thing than Garizi was, who's eager to get forward all the time. And of course that could work wonders because a player like Garizi is so good at getting forward so fast into the air. Mystic, although he is another fast player, is also willing to just sit back and be a little bit more of a supporting role. That's a difficult shot, actually. Marky does well to pass that towards Coxer. Good passing by FlipSid out of defense. 4 consecutive hits, and now forcing the save out of Sniper.
It's that ability the FlipSid have on all of the players, not necessarily waiting for the best touch, they make the best touch out of the situation they have. Just
Oh,
an
that's
issue
nice
a lot of players
pass.
have, and that is a
Open net.
lovely open
Whoa,
pass,
what
but
a
Mystic.
save by Mystic.
Defensive
Where did he come
stone.
from?
Defensive
I thought it was open.
wall. He has
The
come through.
unbeatable wall Shogun.
The unbeatable wall. I hand you my crown, my friend. As Mystic now finds himself in the corner. Looks to go for a flick.
Oh,
No,
the
he
fake
fakes
is
it out
successful.
entirely. Can't quite get it past the second player. Mummy Snow will
Panic
just be
stations
happy.
in Prophecy End. Everybody flailing at the ball, and it really isn't looking too pretty. Can they finally get the breathing room that they need with a hard clear? No, Mummy Snow will continue on Sniper's soft clear, though, and that will give them some space to collect boost.
Do not, just because he's playing that style, write off Mystic as just a defensive player.
Oh, not at all.
He is great all across the field. Kuxir is going to put that one in. FlipSid Tactics, they are just controlling the field.
Marky nodding in appreciation. He didn't have vision of Cux there, but he knows that that is where the Italian will be. These guys love to move up in alignment, and that pass perpendicular to the side wall finds its way to the back wall. And underneath the crossbar, Kuxir rarely misses from that range, and he is shooting well today. 1-0 FlipSid. Prophecy really need to up their pace or get better at reading what FlipSid are doing if they want to have a chance to win this series or even take a game at this point.
They are just trying to react at this point in time, and that is meaning that they are always
FlipSid all in retreat,
one
though.
step behind. There is an opportunity shot on the net.
that demo.
There is a boom, but it's the wrong one for Prophecy, taking out the final offensive player. If it was the other way around, we were almost assured a goal. Now Sniper tries to play it down. Has he overhit it? He hasn't even got the boost, but he can still manage to keep it going. Sniper did a lot with very little right there. We head into the final minute and 20. Flarky is going to leave that one for Sniper. As here comes the pace play from Prophecy. That pass, he's not going to find anyone because it was actually more of a shot. I couldn't quite tell. It was very slow moving.
Awkward though for Cux and Mystic. They had to help each other out to get that save, as both of them coming together in the middle to get an angle that neither of them would have been able to find individually. But now we're in the final minute. Prophecy desperately in need of a goal. They have only scored one in the previous game and none this game, and they have not looked threatening apart from one incredible save from Mystic and another demolished by Mystic, who has really looked solid for FlipSid in defense today.
Flarky with the side flip could have had an opportunity from that infield pass. Final 35 seconds. Prophecy once again find themselves down as FlipSid Tactics. Very different style of play from them. They seem to have played from the back up, and then as soon as they have an opportunity to go into offense, they're sending all three.
Right there we see trust from Marky in Kuxir, who was in the net behind him. That's really good to see from these guys. Something that they sometimes do wrong is the lack of trust in their goalkeeper, who has a better position to clear the ball, but there Marky leaving the ball for Cux. Comfortably getting it clear, but now Marky missing on the side flip. Post saves them. Prophecy really should have been tying the game here because Marky missed his side flip. He accidentally front flipped and whiffed the ball. It bounced center for free. Surely now we will see 2-0 for FlipSid in a series that should absolutely still be 1-0 in overtime game 2.
That was massive.
Very, very fortunate.
Huge opportunity there. Very scoreable indeed. Post and out. FlipSid Tactics take game number 2. And if they win, they will head into the semi-finals and take on the winner of Aero Kings and Diffuse Kids. There's a couple of very tasty matchups in there indeed, but they need to finish off the job. Prophecy doing much better that game, looked a lot more up to the pace of FlipSid Tactics rather than just holding themselves back and hoping that they could get something going, because going coast to coast is very hard to do indeed. Now, the finish. That's all they need to find.
Well, they didn't double commit really that much this game, which we called them out for in game 1, but they didn't really commit at all is the problem. And sometimes it's better to send 2 people than none, because if you don't send anybody, people like Kuxir are going to get free shots, and then you're going to lose the game 1-0 because you hit the post with 7 seconds remaining. Yeah,
it's something that Siki is very good at as well. You see him double commit more than you think, but it's a case of he knows what he's doing is the correct thing to do. So he doesn't quite care the fact that his teammate's going for it. He knows for a fact that what he's doing, if he's committing to it, yeah, I know you're doing it, but I'm going to do it better.
The key is if you can at least guarantee a hard win on the ball, and not only that, guarantee that you can put the ball in as safe a location as possible to not only allow yourself to recover and get boost, but also to allow your teammate, who you know is also committing to the ball with you, to recover to get boost. Like you said, Siki is phenomenal at that, often double committing to the same ball as his teammates, but landing on walls That is the key. Never double committing by flying away from walls is often a misplay because you have to fall back down to the ground like a snowflake. But if you can land on the wall and quickly get back into the play with speed, it is definitely much better. Oh my word, Cuxter! You see Marky just shaking his head with amazement as Cuxter finds an almost impossible angle. How does he do it, Shogun?
Well, he has ridiculous mechanics. Well, one of the top 2 Xiao Yu players in Tekken 7 might actually be attributable to his reasoning why he is so quick on his fingers, so good at button inputs. Because in there, he's got to work with 2 or 3 frames. This time, he can just work with his timing on the ball. Definitely transferable skills between games.
I would love to see Cuxter playing both Tekken 7 and Rocket League at one event. Maybe DreamHack Atlanta, you never know. He is top 100 in Tekken 7 at the moment. And still,
maybe not Tekken 7, that one's only just come out. I know it was
he
Tekken
is
in
top
general.
100 in Tekken 7.
Of course he is, because it just came out.
I saw a screenshot on Reddit and also Twitter. Cuxter is already that good. And there we go, infield pass. Do we even need to say it? It's
well, we could
the
probably
classic,
look at Mummy Snow's
the FlipSid classic.
Failed jump towards the
Although
end.
Gale Force might be doing that better than them so far, or at least more often this event. FlipSid really pioneered and perfected that strategy.
Here's Marky putting it down. Cooks yet again. This duo has
oh
been
my
off
word.
the chain so far. This opening minute not only belongs to FlipSid Tactics, but it belongs to the longest standing duo in Rocket League history, Marky Dudar and Cooksir. Mystic is just a glorified spectator at this point.
But is that even a problem?
That is not, that's probably his favorite thing right now.
Mystic for not committing forward, not trying to force his way into these plays. He's just sitting back and not hardly putting a foot wrong. He completely saved Marky and Cuxter in game 2.
If you were to play
a goal line save and a demolish on the goal line not long after. I haven't seen him really miss anything in defense.
If you were to play any game and just be on the back rotation and your teammates scored, you'd be beaming ear to ear. And Mystic will be doing the exact same thing. And there's Mystic, proving that he's not just a pretty face. Puts that one in, 4 goals to the better, and Prophecy are looking outclassed.
Mystic wanted to remind us all that he does like to score boomers from high up in the air. 4-0, FlipSid emphatic in game 3. They might have got a little bit of fortune to get here so easily, but they're definitely looking like the better team right now. The passes are connecting. 1, 2, and 3 gets denied. This time Mummy Snow with a crucial interception, but is it too little too late? They've allowed FlipSid so much time and so much space, so much boost, and so much ability to do what they love to do best. And now with confidence, FlipSid continue to aggress.
FlipSid have just got better and better with every single game that we've seen so far. First game, double commits. Second game, no double commits, very strong standard play. Third game, this has just been on a whole new level. Marky Dudar is actually going to get bumped there.
For once, Mystic creeping forward, a little bit close to Marky, but Cuxter to the rescue. We have to remember there is still a long time left in this game, and Prophecy themselves had a resurgent performance, or a surging performance in game 3 yesterday, which was a best of 3, where they were able to score, I think, 4 goals in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Could they do it again? I think it's possible, but they need to get started sooner rather than later, because they're struggling to even get a shot to materialize right now.
Yep, this ball has just been glued to the Prophecy half. Mystic is going to start rotating back. He's actually turned around there, and that's going to open up the space.
Mummy Snow spots the passing play, and he makes the run downfield. He's already flipping past the midfield to get into position, and credit to Flarky for spotting him do that. So there it is, just over half the game gone. Finally, we have Prophecy on the board. FlipSid need to be careful not to give Prophecy too much space. If they can get another goal, these players might get the confidence that they need to find more chances to score, but oh, that's not good. Mummy still takes the ball away from his teammate.
So currently, 3 goals separates these teams. FlipSid Tactics are going to make it back to 4. Mystic highlight reel plays from the man from Scotland. And he is going to be very pleased with that. Cucks tries to take it away from him.
This time, who was just there along for the ride. That's the second time this game, actually, that Cuxer has just flopped past the ball and allowed his teammate to score. First Marky, now Mystic. He doesn't seem to be too bothered by that, though. Cuxer looking very happy today. This is very different from how they looked at the RLCS line when things were going badly, and even when things were going well, they did not look this happy. So it's good to see the boys enjoying themselves on stage. It's been a while since that has been happening. With 5-1 on the scoreboard, I really feel like this might be too much of a hill to climb for Prophecy. The 8th seed coming into the tournament will probably be finishing 8th.
Mystic is looking like a solid fit right now. Having him in that third role, especially when Marky Dudar and Cooks here are playing at the level they are currently at, finding each other as quickly as they are, and then having Mystic come in with some phenomenal decision-making and solo plays. That is the recipe for a very solid Rocket League trio. As Mystic, once again, just takes up the ball. He's going to waste the time, force someone to come towards him, and then beats them, and then forces 2 players to commit from Prophecy. That is exactly what Mystic brings to the table. Patience and smart gameplay.
Yeah, Mystic, a very, very supporting player. He has been able to be successful in multiple rosters, and it is no surprise that he is slotting in well today, although it did take a little bit of time for them to take it seriously. Cuxer, not the best hit there, though it has to be said. Cuxer, although they are winning 5-2, has looked a little bit sloppy in this third game. We saw him, faking the ball before Marky's second goal, and then again faking the ball before Mystic's goal for 5.
Woody would be very proud.
And again, another whiff from Cuxer. This is not looking good for him. He'll definitely need to make connection with the ball more frequently against the likes of Diffused kids who may await them in the following round.
Mystic takes that shot, but that's going to be bounced straight off Sniper. Prophecy have certainly shown us some glimpses as to what we can see in their future. Definitely could do it with a little bit more time in the oven to work out some of the kinks, work out their ability to rotate around the field, and just figure out what they want to do whenever they do get stuck against a team like FlipSid Tactics that is able to just work the ball around, control it, and find each other so quickly with these passing plays.
Mystic, ignoring the back wall, knows Marky's waiting in the middle. Another player that loves to do this waiting in the middle strategy is KDOP, and Mystic, of course. Just recently grand finalist at RLCS Season 3 alongside KDOP, and KDOP being the main scorer for that team. I'm sure Mystic is used to trying to service that position. So it will not be difficult for him to transition into that role for FlipSid team here at DreamHack. And now it's just turning into an extremely one-sided affair. Not the greatest clear from Prophecy, and Flarky hiding inside the goal like a turtle hiding his head, unable to emerge in time to block that shot. 7-2. Is there really anything more that needs to be said here, Shogun? FlipSid moving on to the semifinals.
Probably the biggest thing right now for FlipSid Tactics is Marky Dudar's shooting. He was looking really out of touch, really out of form during the RLCS finals. This time around, every single time he's found, and trust me, I'm going to give a lot of credit to his teammates. They have given him phenomenal passes.
Oh,
but
no way.
He has been making them stick. FlipSid Tactics are going to take this win. They're going to take it convincingly. And now, Wavepunk, you're going to take it from here.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. We can do it that way. That sounds good. FlipSid very strongly coming out. First 3-0 of the